Hi everyone, we are back. Getting better every day, so hopefully my voice returns to normal soon. And we are talking about a lot of stuff in this episode. We're going to cover a lot of ground. I'm story editing Heathcliff and the Cadillac Cats, and man, it's going on greased rails, okay? It's like so fast. We're so far ahead of schedule. Lori's thrilled. Everybody's happy. The writers are getting assignments. They've all written, like I said in the last installment, they've written for Heathcliff before. So we're just jamming. And Lori kind of throws me a curveball when I'm halfway through the series. And she calls me into her office and she says, Jack, you know, the show is going so good. You're like 3 weeks ahead of schedule. She said, we've got something that came up for a show called Mask. If you're an animation fan, you know what I'm talking about. M period, A period, S period, K period. About Matt Tracker and all the good guys that are race car drivers and Venom, the bad race team. Great, great show. Action, action, action. So she said, we did a previous season, and now we've got one last little season that we've got an assignment on. We've got 10 episodes that we need to have done. So I said, okay. You know, I've been story editing on Heathcliff, and, you know, I'm kind of looking forward to getting back to a little bit of writing. She said, the only thing is that we need all 10 episodes written in a week. So, okay. She says, you can pull in one writer. Here's the series Bible. And Andy wants you to go home. We're getting ready to move our DIC studios out to Encino, California. So the timing's really good. And you and Ray just set up a hotline, go back and forth. I know he writes fast. You know, Ray was a producer and director, probably still is. So she says, and you guys just knock out 5 episodes each in a week. I said, okay, I'll get my magic wand and my pixie dust out. So she says, look, don't complain about it, okay? You're going to write 5 episodes. You're going to get a full script payment for it. And, you know, you're going to make $7,500 in a week. So, you know, it's a hard logic to argue about. So I said, okay, sounds great. So I call up Ray. Ray's thrilled. You know, we're ready to jam. He comes in. I give him the series Bible, and we're going to set up that we're both working at home, and we're going back and forth on the phone. And before I go home, Kim's heard this story before, so she's going to laugh a little bit. I get this one writer, and I have a positive predisposition for female writers. They're not represented enough in the industry, and you know, I always want to give an extra shot. And this one writer, whose name I will not reveal, delivers me a Heathcliff script, and it's just abominable, okay? It is like beyond saving, okay? There's nothing that I can do with this, okay? So I called her in and I said, you know, I just don't know where to begin. I said, you know, I'm a story editor and I can work with a script. I said, you're giving me nothing here. These are just a sequence of events. There's no story, you know. And she had a story in her springboard. I said, do you want to go back and take another shot at it? What do you want to do? And she reaches across my desk and she grabs the script off of my desk and she stalks out of my office. And before she leaves, she turns and she looks at me and she says, you're the meanest man in Hollywood. You know, I write for the Care Bears and the Littles. I think I'm a pretty nice guy, okay? So she stalks off about 20 minutes later. And believe me, I gave it to Andy pretty good when, when he had the engine fall off the plane, that whole event. So about 20 minutes later, Andy comes to my office. He opens up the door and he's got like, the red rims around his eyeglasses and the red leather tie. And he looks at me and he says, I heard you're the meanest man in Hollywood. I said, what can I say, So it was one of the few scripts I ever had to kill. So I'm going to shift a little bit, okay? I know some people think, well, this doesn't have anything to do with writing or television or anything, but it does, you can't work. You gotta have some kind of a relief. And Lori, I know you're watching, and I know when we moved out to offices to Encino, you were famous for taking all of us writers out to that great Mexican restaurant, and we'd have like pitchers of margaritas. And later on in the afternoon, you'd come into the writer's wing, and we'd all have our heads on our desks. So we were a tight group, and we liked to have fun. So now our baseball team is really starting to gel. And we look so great in our uniforms and our green baseball caps. And we've won 5 in a row. And, that's the word's getting around. So now we've got a game against the powerhouse, okay? Warner Brothers, okay? The vaunted Warner Brothers Entertainment Softball League team. So we get out there at night, and it's fall, and I go on the mound, and the ball, you got to realize it's softball, but the ball is not soft yet, okay? Because it's cold outside, and you're just warming up, and it's not this kind of a big softball; it's the smaller one. So their leadoff batter comes up, and as he's coming up, like, I thought it was an earthquake, like the ground is like shaking, and I hear boom, 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 boom. And I look at the plate, and this guy, his arms are as far around as my chest, okay? So he gets into, oh my gosh, and here I am, I'm just, 40 feet away from him on the mound, and he gets into the batter's box, and we got a really tight infield. You got to remember that. We got Linda Levin playing at second base. Mike Cowan, one of the true natural-born athletes. This guy, what an athlete. We got Mike Stokey at shortstop. Bobby Logan's over at third base. Lori Crawford is behind the plate. She's the catcher. The outfielders, I don't know that well, but our infield, we were really tight, man. Bobby and Mike Stokey each had like 900 batting average. I'm not exaggerating. So this guy is in the batter's box, and I throw the first ball, and he misses it, which was the worst thing that could have happened to me, okay? Because now this guy's ticked off at me. So I take the ball, and you got to remember, it's fall, and it's cold out in LA at night. Take the ball, boom, send it in, and he connects and hits this ball, and it's a line drive and hits me in both of my ankles. And I go down like a sack of potatoes, okay? I can't even move. Everybody's running around and everything. So got back on my feet. And yeah, I want to tell you, it really hurts, okay? So the guy's on like first base. So their second batter comes up. It's Warner Brothers, okay? Their second batter comes up. Who is it? It's Linda Blair, okay, who played Regan McNeil in The Exorcist, okay? If you haven't seen The Exorcist in a long time, you gotta watch it, okay? So she was possessed by the devil, and she comes up, and Bobby Logan just, he was great comedian off the top of his head. And they got all of the Warner Brothers fans on the side, and the one bleacher, ours are on the other. And Bobby starts in, and he says, he's saying it really loud. He says, Jack, he says, you better watch out. Her head's going to start spinning around, and she's going to spit pea soup at you like she did in the movie. So I said, Bobby, come over here. So, and the fans, the Warner Brothers fans, they're booing and hissing, you know. I said, Bobby, I said, take it easy. I said, this guy already, you know, nailed me on my ankles. I said, back off a little bit. Hey, come on, you know, you gotta heckle her a little bit. So she gets up there. She was actually a very nice young lady. So I strike her out with 3 pitches. Then we retire the side. And we're leading. No, we were behind. I remember we were behind 5-6. And I got runners on second and third base. And I come up in the bottom of the 9th inning. My ankles are finally starting to heal. So I'm not a power hitter. I don't hit home runs, but I've got good placement. So I'm at the bat, lefty. And the guy throws the ball in and bam, connect with it. Goes over the shortstop's head, tries to grab for it. And, you know, I put my foot in the bucket to hit the opposite field to keep him off balance. And I'm running, and I see the guy scores from third base to tie it up, and the guy's at second base, and he's going to try to make it to home. I round first base, and I'm running towards second base, and the relay is coming in from the outfield, and I know it's going to be close, and if I'm out, we don't win the game. So I've never played before in this kind of a, adult softball league. I leap up into the air, land on the ground, slide into second base, feet first, safe, and I look up and the runner has scored from third base. We win the game, 7-6 or whatever the hell it was. I get up. I never knew until this time that I played that there was such a thing called sliding pads that you wear under your uniform on your hips so that if you, like an idiot, jump up in the air and slide into the base, you've got padding. I don't have sliding pads on, so the whole left side of my uniform is bloody, okay? But we've won the game. Everybody comes out and congratulates me. And I hobbled home that night. And, I said in another episode, be careful about getting too close to getting involved with writing or hanging out with anybody that's in the occult, okay? Because I got a hunch, even to this day, that Linda Blair kind of holds a grudge that I struck her out on 3 pitches. Okay, we'll get back to normal in the next episode. I hope you guys enjoyed this one. A little bit different. Take care.